Well, hey everybody, I'm John Reitland. This is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 29 Night 16 event. Final G1 review of mine that will be delayed. Night 17 and 18 and the finals will all be live or, put up shortly after the shows are done. And I will also be reviewing NXT TakeOver Toronto 2 and SummerSlam because I review New Japan and WWE. And I just want to take a moment to once again thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate the continued support. It means a whole lot as a wrestling fan to all other fellow wrestling fans. It means a whole lot. And yeah, I'm not going to really have all that much sleep this weekend, but especially in the case of the G1, these guys have been tearing their bodies up. And yes, there's been some stuff that hasn't been all that good. You're going to get that in any round-robin tournament, especially one of this size. I mean, it's taken place over 19 nights. But most of the matches have been, at the very least, there's been some decent ones, but there's been mostly good to great to holy shit, how are these guys still alive, especially in the case of that main event. So it's been quite a fun tournament. I'm going to go over the point totals for B Block at the end of this, but let's jump right on into it. Kevin Kelly, Rocky Romero, and Chris Charlton on commentary, and we start off with a Young Lions tag match. Shota Umino, Ren Narita, Yota Tsuji, and Yuya Uemura, they tangle, and the Young Lions explode until Minoru Suzuki throws them, into another zip code or postal code, whatever they have over there in Japan. I'm not really sure. But Yuya gets in some shots, but then gets beat up for a bit. Yota Tsuji gets in, him and Shota tangle for a bit, but in the end, we get Shota Umino pinning Yota with the Fisherman Suplex of the 1-2-3. It was a short match. It wasn't just those moves. It was a short match, though. It was fine. It was a good warm-up. It's nice to see these guys gain some experience. And then we get Sonata, Evil, and Bushi versus Bad Luck Fale, Chase Owens, and Yujiro Takahashi. It's a preview of Sonata versus Bad Luck Fale, the final A-block match for both of them. Of course, it goes outside. Big shock there. Sonata does get beat up for a bit. There was this funny moment where the whole C-block thing, like, when David Finlay had that little thumbs-up trophy, like the one that, Jen sent me, the one I use occasionally to give a big thumbs-up for a lot of those really, really good matches. Since David Finlay's injured, he can't defend the C-block trophy, and he can't defend his C-block championship. So somebody apparently made up just a massive point total thing of all these undercard matches and who's gotten the most victories and stuff like that. And Rocky Romero's just reading them off and everything. It was hilarious. I think Kevin Kelly's so some dude on Twitter just sent you this stuff. I don't know why it was funny. It just was. And Chris is just trying to figure it out. I mean, they really are a great trio. They're an example of why a trio commentary team can actually work, because they have fun, but they also call the goddamn matches and they actually appreciate the stuff and can put over things. But anyway, Evil and Yujiro get in. They tangle for a little bit. Chase and Bushi are in. And Bushi gets in a couple shots, but in the end, Chase's package piledriver pins Bushi for the 1-2-3. And then we get Minoru Suzuki, Lance Archer, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenta, Clark Connors, and Carl Fredericks. And it's a preview of Kenta versus Zack Sabre Jr., which I'm excited for. That's going to be quite a good match. Watch it go 10 minutes. I think that's going to actually be a very, very good match, especially late in the tournament. That's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, Suzuki-gun jumps the bell. We go outside, and Archer's beating up Fredericks in the ring. Suzuki just piles guardrails and chairs and everything on Connors. That was pretty funny. And Fredericks gets beat up for a while. Kenta and ZSJ, they tangle for a little bit just to give us a nice little preview of their match coming up. Suzuki and Connors are in there. Connors gets some shots, but in the end, the gotcha-style piledriver 1-2-3. Yeah, blitzing through these, these undercard matches, since right now, especially near the end of the tournament, I mean, they're there. I'm going to be really interested to see what the card is going to be for the for the finals and stuff like that. I mean, especially the finals match, but we won't know until the end of night 18. But we'll know one of them after Saturday. We'll know one of them because that's when the A block finals are. So anyway, we then get Kota Ibushi, Toa Hinari, and Will Ospreay versus Okada, Tanahashi, and Yoshihashi, and it's previews of Kota and Okada for the A block, for the A block win, and Ospreay and Tanahashi, which I didn't realize was a match I needed until now. I think it's going to be very fun. Okada and Bushi start out, as you would expect. Crowd is really, really hot, split for both of them. Kota and Tanahashi, they tangle for a little bit. Everybody gets in their shots and stuff like that. Ospreay and Tanahashi have a nice little tease of what their match is going to be. Yoshihashi and Hinari get in. And everybody gets in, hey, we're gonna hit a dropkick, hit a clothesline, all this kind of stuff. And in the end, it was this weird brainbuster variation. Is that what Headhunter is? Is that what Headhunter is from Yoshihashi? I don't see him win too many matches with anything but the butterfly lock, so I forgot. But he wins. He pins Hinari. it was what it was. I don't think there was really any shock. Once I saw Hanare was in there, I'm like, okay, he's probably taking the pin. Unless they want to have Yoshihashi do it, it's probably going to be Hanare. Again, put Hanare in the G1, please. We then get B block starting. We get Taichi with Miho Abe versus Yano, and of course Taichi's stalling to the point where Yano gets upset. You don't want to do this? Fine, I'm going to leave. He goes up the stage. Kanemaru attacks him, and then Yano gets wrapped up in the apron skirt again, like Taichi did to him last night during their, which sounds really really dirty. Actually, it was during the preview. Sorry, I kicked the stand with my phone on there, but anyway, he it wrapped him up in the apron skirt and anything like they did at that tag match last night. And then we get, turnbuckle pad comedy where it's like Taichi and Yano keep tossing it back and forth and then toss it to Kanemaru and they point at him and then toss it at the ref and they point at him. So that was pretty goddamn funny. But anyway, and then Yano rips Taichi's pants off before he's ready. It just, the comedy of it, this is when comedy can actually work. And I know some people don't like Yano. I find him entertaining in short bursts, do not get me wrong. But outside, Kanemaru takes the alcohol, tries a Centauri surprise. Nope. Yano stops him and then throws him in Taichi's face and hits him where he spits it in Taichi's face. And then Yano wraps them both up in another apron skirt and then wins by count out. So, okay, it was what it was. It was comedy. It was what it was. We then get Naito versus Jeff Cobb. It was good, but this and the next match were a little bit short. This match, maybe not quite as short as I thought. The other one was. But anyway, Naito and Jeff Cobb. Naito does mock Jeff Cobb, kind of doing the sumo thing, stuff like that, because Cobb is a big, strong lad. And he gets tossed around for a while. Actually gets tossed around quite a bit in this match. Even though Naito focused on the knee of Cobb, Cobb was still able to throw him around and do some good shit. Cobb just at one point hitting this huge belly to belly, just catching Naito and just throwing him. Cobb's strength is unreal. Seeing him live last year was an absolute treat. Getting to meet the guy, super nice guy. It was when he was a Ring of Honor television champion. I think he had a PWG championship, and I'm holding him. God, those belts are heavy. How the fuck do they carry those? Those belts are so goddamn heavy. But anyway, superplex off the top by Cobb. Delayed superplex. That was impressive. Big old Frankensteiner off the top by Naito. Cobb kind of pops up, but then afterwards hits a Poison Rana. Please stop with the Poison Ranas, especially on a big lad like Cobb. But Cobb then at one point just does this weird elevated F5 throw. Good grief, he just tosses Naito. I mean, carefully, or as carefully as you can toss another human being, but still. We then get, afterwards, Destino for 3. Again, it was a short match, but it wasn't bad. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed the show for the most part. Nothing was particularly bad. Well, maybe until you get to one of the later matches, but it just, some of it kind of felt a bit rushed, like they were just trying to get like to the last couple matches, because I thought, Moxley and Goto were going to get a long match. I don't think this match was more than 10 minutes, maybe 12. I don't even know if it was 12. Maybe it just seemed short to me. I don't know. Maybe it just seemed short. Mox does shake hands, does his entrance, and throws the barricade just to get through. And then there was this handicap fan, at least he was in a wheelchair. He was cheering Moxley on. I think he was in an LIJ shirt, if you go back and watch this stuff. And Mox actually goes back and does a fist bump, a handshake with him, which I thought was pretty cool. I thought that was a really, really good moment. I wanted to make sure I pointed that out here. There were great strikes at the beginning, a lot of reversals. They made the most use of their time and the most use of what they had and everything. And it has been a grueling tournament, so maybe some matches shouldn't go on way too long. Since we got Mox versus Juice, on night 18, which ought to be pretty interesting. I think Juice is probably going to win that one, because then it's going to be a way for him to get the U.S. title back. But at the same time, a couple other people had beaten Moxley, so they could lay claim to that title way before Juice. But they'll probably go with that. It looked like we might get Moxley winning, but nope, suddenly a GTR out of nowhere. I mean, you talk about your RKOs out of nowhere. GTR out of nowhere, 1, 2, 3, and Goto wins. And again, maybe it just seemed short to me. I don't know. It was a good match. It did seem a little short, though. And then we get Jay White versus Juice Robinson. I wanted to like this more than I did. And I get it that Jay White's a heel. He's a very good heel. He is a fantastic heel. I don't think he needs Gato. I don't think he does. And I said this in other reviews. I really don't think he needs Gato. I know why they're doing this. it's kind of like a way to, like, turn the whole thing on its ear, where, like, Gato was with Okada, that kind of stuff, and all that, and I get that. I really don't think Jay White needs him, at least as often, because Jay White can stand on his own. He really can. Now, I mean, as a heel, I think he's super effective. Jay White uses heel tactics; they're super effective. But of course, Jay does the stalling, Gato does distract. We get some teasing with a chair and stuff like that, where Juice hands a chair to Red Shoes, because Red Shoes is probably the best Japanese refs that they have, and he's made out of, like, tissue paper. I mean, he's just getting beat up all the time. White does focus on the knee after getting a bit of a dragon screw on the ropes, just torques the knee, works on the knee. That was a bit of a focus, and I did like that. I did like how they did that, because Jay White's a very good wrestler. Now, is he as good as they need him to be? Maybe not right now, but he does have the character work down. He does, at one point, they go out into the crowd, and he uses one of those standing chairs and puts Juice's knee right on it. Very vicious maneuver. Big ol' Uranagi by Jay White for 2. Juice had come back at that point and actually did end up doing then a crash and burn on the ropes, where he got pulled out and his groin hit the ropes, and I do not understand how wrestlers do not shatter their groins doing that. Excuse me. Juice does come back again, hits a nice powerbomb right into the Tenzon Crab, the high angle Boston Crab, and then Jay's just attacking the knee, because otherwise he's going to end up tapping out. He hits this knee bar, this beautiful knee bar. Big old low blow. Ref bump, and then a low blow, and then, we get Gato distracting again, of course, and the referee's down, so who really gives a shit? We get chair usage. It looked like Juice might actually get the win, because he did get the left-handed God a couple times, and tried for the Pulp Friction on the chair while the referee was down, but nope, he got sent right into it, and then Jay White used the chair, whapped him on the knee a bit with it, and then got the knee bar on it again, and tapped out. Juice tapped out, that is. It served its purpose, where Jay will win by any means necessary, but sometimes if you repeat the same things over and over, and this is any company, not just New Japan, but WWE does it a lot, other companies do it a lot, and done a lot over the years. I mean, I'm somebody that lived through WCW, where they did a lot of run-in bullshit and a lot of stuff, and I'm talking from Jim Crockett Promotions all on down and everything. If you repeat some things so much, the fans will get tired of it. And that's why I'm thinking that maybe this Jay White-Gato friendship, working relationship, stuff like that, isn't going to last as long as some people think. I don't know. How long do you think it's going to last? Let me know in the comments. But yes, Jay White wins. He's all the way back, basically, to being, not in the driver's seat, because he's lost to some people. He'll probably worm his way into the finals, but he will lose. And which I think is probably the right call, because I have no desire to see Jay White versus Okada again at Wrestle Kingdom. I think while their matches were good, especially the one at G1 Supercard, I don't think you need to revisit that. But I'll get into that in a little, at another review, because I think it's pretty obvious who's winning the A block, and I think Jay White may end up winning the B block. Who knows? He might end up losing to Naito, and then might just beat up Naito and everything, and try to get an IC title shot. Who the fuck knows? So we get Ishii versus Shingo. I want to make one mention that during Ishii's entrance, they cut to the crowd, and there was this beautiful, dyed green-haired woman with tattoos, and fucking Christ, she was beautiful. More of that, yes. There were. I don't mean to, like, sound all like, oh, I was just judging on looks, but there are a lot of crowd shots where it's like, wow, there's some really beautiful women in these crowds, and it's really nice to see that. It's nice to see a mix. Nice to see a mix of passionate fans, men and women. It's just nice. But I did notice when the camera focused on that green hair girl, I was like, oh, hi. But anyway, plus I have a thing for tattoos if they're done right. So anyway, heavy strike. That's something that you guys really need to know instead of wrestling. So we get heavy strikes from Ishii and Shingo, and my God, the match was just, how were either of these guys standing? It was a really goddamn good match. Of course, there were heavy strikes. Plenty of chops. Throat chops. Stop chopping in the throat. Ishii, I know you hate the fact that people don't have necks, but good lord, man. Shingo tossing Ishii around for a bit. Ishii bleeding from his left ear, I believe. There were some more strikes, some good exchanges, and, at one point, a Saito suplex, no sell. Saito suplex, no sell. Clothesline, no sell. Clothesline, no sell. That was kind of funny. Big old Noshigami, grabs him, and Shingo grabs him, puts him down, but that doesn't work. We get Sliding Larry from him for 2. Big Made in Japan, but that's just for 2. Pumping Bomber for 2. German suplex by Ishii. Looked like Ishii might actually get the win. Huge lariat by Ishii and just sliding lariat, that kind of stuff. Big lariat kick out, like kick out after 1. Pumping bomber for 2. And soon after, Last of the Dragons 1, 2, 3, Shingo gets a win over Tomohiro Ishii. Shingo is going to get another open weight title shot at some point. And I think that's the way you bring Shingo in to the heavyweights full time. I mean, obviously he's in the G1. He wanted to transition to the heavyweights. That's why he faced off against Kojima at Dominion. But I think this is the way you do it. And I mean, Ishii's been champion. What? Like he won it at Dominion. He won at Dominion, right? I would have Shingo beat him during the Destruction Tour, maybe a King of Pro Wrestling, something like that. I think that's the way you go with it. I mean, because Ishii can go after another title. Shingo winning that would actually be a good call, at least in my opinion. I'm going to say a B. I was close to giving it a B-, but I did enjoy the show overall. So, solid B. B- to B. But now I'm going to go over the point totals for B block. So, people are eliminated. Juice Robinson and Shingo are eliminated. They each have 6 points. Taichi and Yano are eliminated. Taichi has 6. Yano has 8. Ishii has 6. Ishii has 8. Cobb has 6. They're eliminated. People still alive. Each at 10 points. Jon Moxley, Tetsuya Naito, Hiroki Goto, and Jay White. So it's all coming down to the final night of B block, and I think that's probably smart. But so it is, if I'm right, it is Juice versus Moxley and Naito versus Jay White. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. And I mean, if I'm right, if it comes down to if Moxley and Jay win, Jay has a tiebreaker. So going to be pretty interesting to see what happens there. In fact, I think that might be what happens, but who knows. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.